Bernie Gerdeman joining us from the ozone.net. Please join him right there for the very best in Ohio State football coverage, with the Buckeyes hosting Penn State, number 2 and number 6 getting together. And you speak of overrated, maybe the Buckeyes are overrated. So at a number 6 ranking for me, I don't think they're overrated in regards to talent. I think they're easily one of the 6 most talented teams in the country, and therefore potentially one of the handful of best teams in the country. But based on what they've thrown out there, for example, I think it's ridiculous that they're ranked ahead of Oklahoma. Same records. Oklahoma's beaten Texas, and of course the head-to-head wasn't really that close in the second half. But that's not going to matter past Saturday. Either they're going to show up, prove it, and prove the ranking, or they'll drop back into the pack and have to play for a second-tier bowl bid, most likely for the rest of the season. So, yeah, the question awaits the Ohio State Buckeyes. They could have beaten the last 4 opponents or so 50-0 every week, which they practically did, and it wasn't going to prove anything. But if you can kind of sift through the Marylands and Rutgers and Nebraskas, do you like what you've seen in the last month?
Yeah, you have to like what you've seen. And, to talk about the opponents, I think the best win at this point might be Army, aside from the Indiana win. So it's not been this great, run, but they've done exactly what they needed to. They've looked more than competent, because even looking competent in the passing game was a struggle for them early on. And now they look really, really good. And they've never looked this good against the same schedule before. They play the schedule every year, basically. And they've never looked like this. So when they are looking like this, you sort of have to compare it to what they've done in the past and know that there is a difference. But yeah, as far as, they don't have the resume of what you'd want to see from the number 6 team. But with the win, yeah, it's a different offense in terms of, and this could be an hour conversation just in itself as far as what Kevin Wilson and Ryan Day have done, and the process to turn this from offense that we know to the flourishes and the tweaks that have made this a productive offense. Because it didn't start in week 1. It's been a constant build each week where new stuff is added, but old stuff is then sort of mastered. So it's been like an inchworm effect. That you get one thing down, you add something else, and then you bring something up behind that you get better at. And right now, I mean, it's an offense that you're accustomed to seeing from Baylor under Art Briles, not to, go that direction, but just they can run, they can throw the ball. And right now they're too much for a bad schedule, which is, I guess, also like a Baylor.